Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. Me, your host, ImperialDane, Master of Propaganda, Head of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Angerville. Between the south, we got the one, the only, the ImperialDane fighting here for the Wehrmacht. Germany, Deutschland, the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Götz von Berlichingen. Versus in the north, we got Findeed, fighting for freedom and democracy. The American dream. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Infantry Division, tasked with clearing out this village filled with krauts. And we got here encirclement German infantry, which I immediately choose by the way, with Stormtrooper Stug in Pioneer Bulletins versus Tactical Support, Mechanized and Armor Company with grenades and infantry bulletins. Therefore, indeed, double rifle start moving down the rear here right hard, and me focusing on the western side of the map because, as a rule of thumb, I always find Angerville right side to be a really bad place to go as the Wehrmacht in the opening moments. I always go left on Angerville, always. Doesn't matter I'm south or north, I always go Angerville west first. I can always then push towards these, but west is important. Done the MD42 start there. Also, a big thanks to Andrew for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast. Remember, you too can support the Propagandacast. Buy war bonds, aka pledge, or just donate. Links are in the video description. Of course, don't have to, but it's only make me happy if you did. Anyways, double grenadiers there on the way. Double rifleman for Findeed. Focusing down here hard. He's right, I'm going to push for him, but I'm not actually going to bother because, again, I know East Angerville, bad place to go to the Wehrmacht in the first opening moments of the game. I would secure the western side of the map. I'm trying to basically just secure it in such a manner he can't surprise me, and I sort of try and push for off. And again, in that regard, I'm getting a slight edge against Findeed because he's focused on just securing this. So I can basically just, in peace, take the entire western side. Of course, currently, I'm in a complete state of paranoia, suspecting anything of being a bunch of Americans with rifles. Third Rob's got on the way there for Findeed. No sign of doctrine from him. The reason for German infantry part because I'm just curious about it. The field officer, tactical movement, relief infantry, plus some artillery callings, then a bombing run. I figured it could be sort of an interesting combo. So I sort of tried, figured I'd go for it, something I like, sort of aggressive movement. And I find the officer to be an interesting choice as well for the Wehrmacht. So I rather wanted to have a doctrine with them. I just figured I'd go for one of the less utilised and want to see how useful is German infantry anyways. First engagement here, rifleman versus grenadiers. Grenadiers holding up here again, basically just there to sort of scout out the entire area here, ensuring he can't creep up on me. Rifleman down the west side, going for the cutoff point there. Now then, MD42 on the way here, since again, I am on Angerville, and that of course opens up for a lot of flanking and manoeuvre from the opponent, and I'm assuming my opponent of course is going to be a nasty, sharp flanker. Lastly, I go for double MD42, so that way have more ways of sort of shutting down any aggressive flanks if I can sort of spot them in time. So the Grenadiers continue to remain calm on the flank. MD42 dealing with rifling up there, supported by Pioneers. Grenadiers, he falls back here, not quite suppressed. And there you go. Indeed, flanking through the south here. Grenadiers trying about to deal with that. MD42 also trying to catch some of the elements there. Up north, being pushed back. Mortar around there for Indeed. Grenadiers being shot at. Rifleman suppressed. And we got second MD42 up from the south here to support up there. So a lot of action going on here. And there goes second MD42. They're catching Findeed's forces in a bit of a bind there. Almost got a rifle squad there doing a lot of damage, and I quickly sort of tried to get about there. I've tried to predict where's he retreating because I want to put down S-mounts and retreat path. S-mounts and retreat path is really effective. In this case, he didn't quite go out the way I hoped. But still, I tried for a wipe there at least on one of the rifle squads, and there we go. Get a wipe there in the early game. That gives me a lot of maneuver room there, following up with a mortar of my own because we're expecting a mortar from him. Plus, of course, it could provide me with a lot of assets. MD42 they're shifting about to cover up here. In the meanwhile, preparing for a push into the eastern side of the map. Again, I've just forced back most of Indeed's forces. 3 rifle squads, killed one of them. And lastly, I sort of see an opportunity there to push ahead against Findeed and going to the eastern side of the map that way, pressuring Findeed. Pioneers are pushing it, quickly getting caught up there, but the rifle needs to shift back here. MD42 coming to the carve point. Grenadiers following back, with a mortar coming up to support here as well. So this is just, sensing an opportunity and then sort of pushing for it. Sort of a vital skill to have. Certainly also one a lot of higher ranked players just have. They just sort of can sense, when there's an opening. What the Germans would call Fingerspitzgefühl, and just, push through. So Rapid is killing him, going for his fuel pond as well. He got a Rearson squad, and then we got replacement rifle there for Findeed. 2's being held up here, mortar fire on his own mortar from my mortar. While the MD42 there is basically drawing fire away. They're almost wiping out his mortar through there. Got the cutoff point. Pioneers with the minesweeper to cut the wire here. Could also cut it there if I remember it, but I'm not too focused on that. Then he's being engaged with Rearson's rifleman. Take up done, and we have no take up yet here for Indeed. Again, the loss of rifleman does slightly delay, but he does actually go for the lieutenant, proving me wrong. Thank you for Indeed. You Finnish bastard. Actually, he's from England, but got an artillery field officer to support my troops at the front line with access to smoke, and of course concentrated fire. I think an ability that is pretty good, but sadly underutilized. And UFO remains here, mortar covering. We got moving down from Findeed on the west side of the map. Rather than occupying here, I'm just sort of grabbing the southern half, and I'm also using the low health grenadiers to sort of heal the more healthy grenadiers, so that way it can still use them at the front line, whereas these can just sort of grab a bit of territory before retreating. Waiting for the officers to move up to support, that way allowing me to sort of pressure my opponent better. Returning up in the center straight into the MD-42 I've got there. He may or may not be aware I've got two, I just forgot about it. In that regard, you know, having two machine guns can also allow them to maybe forget you got more than one, and that way expecting a few surprises. Mortar here, quickly killing Lieutenant Dan, annihilating him with an 8mm rocket there. Grenadiers officer here versus the rifleman. Quickly popping up here. I could also just call in an artillery smoke barrage on the rifleman position, but in this case I want to do as much damage. Poor Ludwig though goes down, but your Wegner keeps up the attack. And there you go, rifleman push back. The concentrated fire there pretty much just overwhelmed them with sheer firepower and belief in the fatherland. Rather than heading for the western field point there, I'd like to make a nice company up there for the German army. And up here, nothing further for Findeed. We got the lieutenant ready, grabbing fuel here. And of course, the lieutenant, I'm thinking there's going to be something like an M20 out or something like that, so I'll be going for the 222 to help counter that. He's going for the M15A1, which will catch me a bit off guard. Pushing down the west side there, avoiding the S-mines for now. Mortar fire there to try and silence his mortar as it's opening up a machine gun again. Nope, well, I'm slightly shifting my mortar from time to avoid him just counter-mortaring it right away. That way, you sort of get a bit more survivability on my mortar. These growing points there, officer moving ahead aggressively. Concentrated fire almost done. And there you go, catching the mortar. Actually get a kill there. And almost getting the mortar there. Sadly, gets away just in the nick of time. Push down here the western side, owing my, well, lighter west flank at the moment. 2-2 on the right, grenadiers reinforcing. Could go for lightest machine and gewehr there. And seizing the victory point here as well. So even though I'm losing ground in the west, I'm still trying to maintain pressure on the eastern side. That way making things a bit more difficult for Findeed. And there you go, 2-2 around here for the 17th SS. Gets von Balikingen, so named after German mercenary commander. It was an initial name to be named Charlemagne, but that was a French unit that had laid claim to that one. Another division, Frundsberg, was also, by the way, named after a German mercenary commander. Fun fact. And is informing on the western side here, officer lightly under fire from his house. But I'm just trying to stay away again. I just want to seize as much territory and make things as awkward for Findeed as humanly possible. Pushing up here to the troop, laying down fire there with its coaxial machine gun and auto cannon. And is pushing ahead here, taking a bit too much fire. And partly didn't know there was a rifleman hiding there, but we got the 2-2 to the rescue. Findeed's motoring up there, go right from the front for MD-42, quickly suppressed. Officer moving down here. In this case, I'm going to call in smoke on the rifleman, preventing them from firing at my officer as he takes the point there. So there we go. Forcing him out into the open, into the range of fire of the officer. There we go, concentrated fire, of course, without cover. The rifle quickly pull up. In this case, it don't take too much damage, even with the concentrated fire pulling down on them. So there you go, I have to fall back with the officer. Got the A-half to go out there, catch me off guard, but there's so much going on there, can't quite pull back my 2-2 before it's getting a bit awfully close there. Second 2-2 following up, mortar continues to fire away there. Wipes out Findeed's mortar. I believe I'm not actually aware of this at the moment. But there you go, second 2-2 arriving there for the German army. Grenadiers reinforcing alongside Pioniere. And we got the Grenadier squad there, the lightest machine gun gewehr striking towards the rifleman in the west. Reinforcing here, and we got an ambulance lay for Findeed. We also got bazookas out to help counter my 2-2-2s. Very good reaction there. And there you go, trying to catch the M15A1 here with my 2-2-2s, moving in here from several sides to make it hard for them to just keep firing at one. Almost got over there you go, encountering the bazooka teams. A bit of an unexpected prediction. I should have predicted it though, but for some reason I did not, and that quite cost me a bit. You're going to lose 1-2-3 here to the bazookas. There you go. Oh, actually I get supremely lucky there. I get supremely filthily lucky. Of course, he gets lucky. I'm not scouting about there and realizing he's lost a mortar, which I then steal from him. But, you know, on the other hand, I get my own filthy luck in this. Again, my 2-2's actually surviving that encounter. That is just sheer luck from my side. We got take up there for me, moving up towards the Supreme Corps, keeping up the pressure here versus Findeed and the Americans. The second armament, mortar there under fire. Before 2-by pulled back, it was really low on numbers and health, so I realized that would be a really good idea to get them back for reinforcement rather than throwing away an MG-42. More to push back as well there, but secure on the western side away there from the Americans. And before 2 hidden behind some shrubberies, while the 2-2s are doing repairs. That's going to take a bit of a while there. A few tactical markings down the front. I believe that signifies they're part of reconnaissance, actually. German tactical markings, by the way, there's some of the people. That's not one they're probably thinking of, NATO markings, but the Germans used a slightly different system. I might be wrong there, I can't quite remember them. I've studied them slightly, but not my huge big thing there. Alright, 2-2, they're being fixed up. Officer moving ahead, don't listen to have another side. We also got the 2-2 supporting him as the lieutenant. Mortar up there hiding away. And there you go, quickly moving about. They're catching the lieutenant from both sides and plastering with heavy fire. Mortar also landing a really good hit there against the lieutenant's unit. And there you go, almost got Lieutenant White. Officer's also suffering here. And push up here against the western fuel point by Findeed. There you go, Lieutenant Push Wick, and it is moving up as well. We got the A-half hanging about here, providing a bit of a safe zone for his men. Nothing further here in Findeed space. 300 points left there for Findeed. There's actually falling back here, possibly feeling a bit exposed. And S-mines going off there, causing Findeed's men a bit of pain and sadness. Hitting the eastern field point there with his riflemen. Got the anti-aircraft there firing right at the house's stout walls. Forcing their grenadiers out. Back here, reinforcement going on, and support McCall ship going up. Also need to get up a medic bunker soon enough. Modify against riflemen, taking back the eastern fuel. MD-42 for some reason did not set up in the house, but set up next to the house. You know, Otto, I think the orders meant in the house, not next to the house. I'm the sergeant. I know what's best. Yeah, but you're clearly also illiterate. There goes the poor McCrop. Can go for a fast Stug if need be. Got the anti-aircraft going in there. Just as the machine gun gets in. Gonna try and hit it with my mortar. See if I can't do some damage there because my 2-2s can't really get in there. I mean, the problem is he's got bazookas covering, meaning I can't rush in my 2-2s for it. Well, I could in theory if I actually hadn't been so silly to mortar the mat and can actually just smoke that one, then can rush in the 2-2s against it. That would at least make it somewhat easier, but oh wait, that's that. Tactical failure there on my side. After there, encounters the lieutenant, quick his gun down, noting he has not upgraded the lieutenant with an additional BAR, which is always, I would say, a good suggestion. This makes the lieutenant completely nuts. But note here what I'm doing on the west side. While I might not be building a medic bunker, I'm actually a machine gun bunker to cover the western fuel point. Again, it's one of those, you've got a machine gun, you've got always covering a point, set up a machine gun bunker. It frustrates the opponent so much more long term. You can also force them to do some slightly awkward aim, forcing up the bunker, going to be supporting lieutenant flanking up behind. And also got access to relief infantry now. If need be, got the 2-2s rolling in. Sadly, the MD-42 can't fire out the back, but it's got 2 machine guns now pointing forwards, and as you know, as they say, 2 machine guns is better than 1. So there you go, Lieutenant being pursued aggressively by a lot of fire. God damn, you think like we're stepping into Germany. I think we are, Carl. Oh god. Here's listening about the bazookas. Got a Stug on the way, anti-aircraft coming about there. Findeed has yet to choose a doctrine, by the way. Yet to choose a doctrine. M4 sitting up there, she was getting reinforced. I could consider going for a half track now to support my frontline troops. Gonna be standing about there, Stug halfway done. Got a lot of munitions there. And another force coming up me before 2 more to kind of officer pioneers there, anti-aircraft coming down. Pearson's taking minor losses from the mortar. Switching on to champions round. He's actually quick to fall back, probably realising I will switch over to it. And as all this is happening, he's putting pressure on the centre. He's moving down a force on the west to centre for sitting up on my right flank. Good work. But he's also asking these. So good sort of moves there by Findeed. And there Govs are doing what they can, but taking some losses. Got the 2-2s moving to catch around from there, punish them for, well, using the open roads. And there you go, nope, by the way. Vehicles also get buffed by concentrate of fire. I believe they get a rate of fire buff or something like that. What's an accuracy buff? I can't remember. It's one or the other. There you go, Stug up the anti-aircraft half-tech, almost getting in there with its 75mm Sturmkanone. Troops running out there. And before it's remaining, they should probably be treated soon. There you go, Captain in the way for the Stug, pin by machine gun being added. Also got plenty of munitions. And we got Rifleman setting up here. Mortar back in action for Findeed and the 2nd Infantry Division. And there you go. I popped both relief infantry and tactical movement, launching an infantry blitz that will shock the world, or at least Findeed for a few seconds as he figures out what the hell I'm doing. In this case, it ends up as a blob assault. Overall execution of this was really roughly done. Should have spread out the men faster. I was trying to get the mortar, and that didn't even work out. Though I do get the anti-tank, but the anti-tank was quickly wrecking up. They had 2 taking loss as well. So yeah, should have spread out more. Should have been more flexible. In this case, it just got really, really dumb. And my officer pays the price, in fact. I don't even think I used concentrated fire. In fact, I couldn't use smoke on the anti-crafter. There's really... Again, I was trying to do too much there in one spot, and that really cost me. I mean, I got some awesome sort of, you know, in a slight compensation, a band-aid, thanks to relief infantry, but not really something that compensates for the officer lost and the 2-2 lost. So yeah, that was a really roughly executed assault there, not very good, and overall cost me a lot. So that could have been done a lot better, simply put. And that also, I think, gave Indeed a lot more room there, because all of a sudden he's got a larger force than I do. I try to fill up some of the gaps there with panzer grenadiers as well. Yeah, that was a really messed up assault. Again, it should have spread out more, but again, I just got too focused on the mortar, because the American mortar is just really, really annoying to have to deal with due to its sheer accuracy, which I still contend is too high. So that was basically just me losing sight of the overall battle just to kill it. So that was really, really poorly done, actually. I was glad there you go, half 10 hits from the Stug. Shoot, Helmut, shoot! Yeah, we did it! We are heroes! Anti-aircraft went down, so we got Panzer Gunners Ostrom, could consider replacement officer down the road. And he's trying to bombard here. We got Captain Mortar Rifleman standing about. He's trying to sort of wait for the mortar to go down. Ostrom moving up here. Grenadiers moving up to support here, and there you go. Almost ready for another Ostrom squad, but will I get in time? Yup. Rifle grenade off. Hits the Ostrom instead of the Grenadier Rifleman. Up here, Panzer was moving ahead, but taking a bit too much fire. Still no doctrine for Findeed, though. Still no doctrine. Ostrom flak Panzer way to help the overall of Findeed's infantry, since he does have a lot of troops there, which point I figure, you know, flak Panzer is pretty good. I got a Ostrom that, Stuttgart already, and I put on so much pressure. Not really too worried about him getting out tanks, though, because at this point, this is where I've forgotten he's got armor company, which is actually a strategic misdecision. Had I remembered he had it, I'd probably have gone for a Panzer IV instead. Or at least another Stug first before going for the Ostrom. So that was a tactical misjudgment. Another tactical movement there to reposition, get ready. Captain trying to flank, and partly them using this Panzer then to sort of sprint here, using tactical movement to react to this. Alongside of the 2-2 note, by the way, support weapons also affected by it. Ostrom Gunners blitzing up there as well. Bunkered down, but still he, you know, held him up for quite a bit of while there. And also drawing a lot of attention. Turn their taking fire from Ostrom Grenadiers. And mortify against the American mortar. Trying to silence it forever. Grenadiers Ostrom up here, come under fire from the other the lieutenant again. And then suppressed by 50 Gulf Indeed product. Hope you with an infantry. Good work here. And there Ostrom arrives and getting his rifle, doing a lot of damage. Possibly close to wiping out the infantry quiet, and ultimately we see that Findeed's assault is then to go for armor company and call in the M10, because he realizes if he doesn't do that, he's going to be in a really bad position, since he's going to really fall back armor-wise. Again, I've been able to control the fuel points, so, you know, well, he doesn't really have much of a choice. And actually, he is forced to have to rely on M10, so that also locks down lots of opportunities, but also means really, I mean, he's just been so reactive in terms of doctrinal choice. Again, strategically, I've got to make it there Findeed, because, well, I've been using my doctrines a lot more actively to support what I want to do. Whereas again, he's just using it to cover up, you know, bad spots. Mortar there wiped by his mortar. There you go, M10 going in, Stu puts the position, got the Ostrom there moving in, trying to draw attention away from the Stu, because if I lose the Stu, then his M10's going to be really dominant. So there you go, I managed to do it. But I might lose the Ostrom in the process. Yup. Saying the Stug I think was more important, since long term again, the Stug's going to be a lot more important either as an opponent's got armor than the Ostrom is. So there you go, several losses there for me. Findeed now in a much stronger position. Again, the M10 suddenly putting a lot more pressure alongside the mortar, which is also really winding up to me now really nasty. Again, as you can see, it's quickly doing a lot of damage very quickly, making it very difficult for me to actually respond. I'm also finally going for a medic banter. And before the dealing with the rifleman, victory or fuel point secured. 10 falling back, anti-tank and rolling back. Still got pressure on the right flank as well, though. Even as, again, I'm fighting heavily in the west. I'm still trying to make some kind of gains in the east now. I might lose some of my Ostrom to this, because I'm too slow to realise what's going on there. And there you go, they're going to get wiped. But they are Ostrom, so they are expendable. Hard work on the Stug. Mortar recruit. MD42 recruit there by Ostrom as well. So Findeed now not getting much stronger position. Again, partly due to that initial failed assault, but also just getting that mortar really just getting nasty, and then just some other tactical miscalculations by me. Troops in and reinforcing. Stug halfway down. I'm more on a defensive posture now. It's going to sort of, you know, stabilise and then sort of build up a decent force to push back against what Findeed got. Which now his rifle are heavily equipped with BARs as well. It's going to be a lot harder. The 50 cavalry will also make it hard for me to utilise my infantry fully. So there are several challenges there now for me. Following up with the second Stug. Of course, an officer would be a good choice, and of course using smoke here would be good. But that's become a bit of a struggle to remember. Tank taps going down there. Rifle doing cap moving down the west side there again. Forces coming here. 17th SS had a full battalion of Stug 4s, by the way. That was from their Panzer battalion, by the way. The Tank Hunter battalion was supposed to have Jagd Panzer 4s, the earlier model, but it actually couldn't get them, so they had to make do with Marder 3s. Fun fact. Another fun fact is they couldn't even get all battalions truck equipped, so some of them had to be ride on bicycles. There you go, Captain 5, we got Grenadiers, Panzer dealing with them. We got the second Stug out to support the first one here, grabbing points. A lot of back and forth here between me and Findeed. Right, moving up here, heading the western fuel point back. Awesome suppressed by the 50 caliber. Hitting the CoH point there, we got MD42, they need to reposition soon. The Stugs are just sort of waiting for a chance to strike again. I don't know where his tank destroyer is. I don't know how many he's got. So in this case, I'm being a bit more judicious with my Stugs, keeping on my tactical reserve, until I can figure out what Findeed is up to armor-wise. Because if I make the wrong move, I risk my Stugs, you know, being flanked by the M10s and probably destroyed. So there's a bit of caution there. In the meanwhile, I'm bringing out more panzer gunners again. The sort of sheer number of riflemen with veterans in BARs is forcing me to consider just a lot more panzer gunners, since they're sort of one of the units can sort of better fight them. Also laying down S-mines here to make it hard for Findeed to just move down there with infantry. Bazooka teams going down the centre to support the M10. Quick rifle in here, almost getting the 50 cover there. We also got infantry moving up here for the other side, and MD42 remains in here. And just as they're close to wiping out the 50 cover, they actually do it, but they do get suppressed. And at that point, Findeed swarms in with the rest of his infantry. Panzer going to be moving up the west. Again, I'm slightly stabilising some of my state, but Findeed is just in a much stronger position than me. But again, I'm doing my best to try and rectify things, in part by just bringing up again Panzergrenadiere. Much better German infantry. Getting caught by the Panzergrenadiere. Grenadiers back there as well. And there you go, Captain pushed back. MD42 just comes to remain a big threat for me until the army rounds going up. And I can Mortar going up close to the front line as well. Fighting on the left side as well, just much fighting going on. There you go, Captain push back. Ostrom supporting here, getting some kills on the rifleman. As the Panzer going to still deal with the Captain. But we can also see, though, Findeed at the same time is actually just beginning to scatter his efforts a lot more. He's at the same time also keeping his tank destroyer on reserve. So there's basically, in that sense, elements here that is just sort of scattered there. And that also gives me a better chance of actually stabilising, because again, it means just Findeed is not really focusing in any spot. And gives me more room to sort of again push back and maybe sort of launch a more specific counter-attack. Catch some of the units I've got. And there you go, S-mines going off. They clearly weren't expecting the S-mines, and that cost them almost the entire rifle squad. So in that regard, S-mines tend to be a pretty good investment. Even though they're sort of, you know, pretty obvious mines compared to other mines, they can still just catch an off-guard, unaware play off-guard, and still block them from moving in. Almost getting his mortar there, but not quite successful in the end. Major push back here with the M42. Which of course signals he's gone for, you know, actual take-up. They can bring up tanks. Back here, Panzergrenadier, Ostrom reinforcing, healing, getting ready for the next big push for the fatherland. And again, my Stug was just reserved. Again, I'm just absolutely paranoid about him just hitting me with a swarm of M10s, because usually if there's one M10, there's usually a lot more. So that's pretty much why I'm just keeping my Stugs there, because I am completely and utterly paranoid about M10s. And again, I've seen it so much there, so That's pretty much the reason. Of course, it could still be utilised a lot more aggressive versus Findeed, and that is a mistake. They should just, remember to keep them supported by infantry. That can, that way, try and, keep track of any M10s trying to rush them. But that is that. Big push into the east here. Grenadiers, Panzergrenadiere, and Osttruppen. Lieutenant quickly falling back. Rifleman falling back there as well. I mean, in that regard, I do, to some extent, have an infantry advantage. At least to ensure I have one locally. Because, again, while it's got refuse the infantry, again, by attacking, I get the local one, meaning most of the infantry doesn't matter, because Findeed is just scattered all across the map. And he doesn't really have sort of a tactical reserve that can sort of just wait, launch a counterattack. And right here we get a bit more on the fun here. There you go, pop tactical movement to counter the 50 cal machine gun, because again, he's trying to set it up, but if isn't, my infantry can keep pace with his machine gun as it falls back and actually catch up with it. Well, his machine gun is pretty much useless, so that's basically what happens there. Also, quick retreat there, still going points in the far east. Trying my best to ensure that Findeed doesn't get too many resources over me. And there goes spinning up the panzers next to you with the rear echelons. More Panzergrenadiers, in fact. I mean, I'm basically short on fuel, but I want to pressure somehow, so just go for more Panzergrenadiers, more elite infantry that way to just push back my opponent. Captain engaged between before 270 RPMs and rounds. We got a Sherman on the way there for Findeed and the 2nd Infantry. Osttruppen flanking up here, flanking the 50 caliber. Got a Sherman moving up there. Osttruppen taking a rather nasty losses there from high explosive rounds. And mortars there almost wiping out the Osttruppen. And with that, I move the Stooks towards the east. I know there's something actually happening now in terms of armour. And lastly, my Stooks are moving in to deal with it. Panzergrenadier advancing. Osttruppen got wiped out. MB42 needs to reposition. That's not going to last long. This is a Sherman tank. And right here, it feels like Findeed might have forgotten about my Stooks. So if he hasn't, it's too late now. There you go, Stooks engaging. First shot misses. That's first Sherman's shot bounces, partly because he's using high explosive rounds. I mean, he's actually utterly defenseless versus the Stooks. He's trying to lay down the smoke screen, but at that point, it's already too late. I mean, 2 Stooks can deal out a lot of damage and usually, take out a tank very fast, which is why I generally always recommend 2 Stooks, because again, they can take down most medium tanks very fast, that way catching the unwary player off guard and destroying them before they have a chance to save it. So that's really good reason just to have 2 Stooks. Tactical movement against to quickly shift about my forces and came to quickly flank the 50 cal before it can react to my flanking grenadiers. Again, making liberal use of tactical movement whenever necessary, to that way gain the tactical advantage over my opponent in any infantry engagement. Rather than retreating right past the grenadiers, Panzer goes M4 setting up to deal with it. And there we go, ripened white BAR dropped. Stooks could provide covering fire here, but for some reason I'm not. Again, I'm still worried about that M10 again. I don't know where it is. Osttruppen moving in there. MD42 almost wiped out, but survives. And Lieutenant here forced run past the Panzergrenadier with now the Pilfered BAR and the Grenadiers with lightest machine gun end. Slot bang forth here, a lot of pressure. Findeed still in control of most of the map. But he is low in victory points. And armor-wise, he's still also rather behind. But there you go, Stooks moving ahead here first. Use the Ostman to an extent. There you go, wrapping under here fire there from Ostmans and machine gun on the Stooks. Pearson's moving up, but they're going to be easy targets as well for this armoured formation. In particular, when my infantry arrives. And they're also setting up for infantry support here from the other side, using the wreckage of the half-tick moving ahead. Using the M10 to try and crash them, to at least keep them away. And of course that tells me where it is, meaning I can sort of deduce that of course it's safe to move my armour easily. So there you go with this, I quickly push ahead here. Stooks and Ostmans advance. Vorwärts! Until the opponent had to deal with the anti-tank gun, which he'd forgotten out there in the open. Armour pulling ahead here, supported by infantry. The right tactical formation. Particularly when it comes to Stook, infantry support for them is vital. Almost got the anti-tank gun there. And there you go, dead. Troop ceiling reinforcing, got the mortar moving ahead. West side there, very, very lightly defended. We got S-Manfield down there, and Findeed barely reacts in time. In this case, I'm moving up the Ostman to actually deal with the anti-tank gun. I could use the Stooks, but the problem is if you get the flanks, I'm in trouble. So again, I need to keep the Stooks available to deal with any sort of armoured flank attempt there by Findeed, who quickly uses the M10 to clear the minefield. Definitely a good way of doing it. Definitely a good way. MD42 finally back for healing reinforcement. Possibly knowing hit. There you go. Got the waiting lieutenant. And he's finally by way to upgrade the lieutenant with the double BRs, further enhancing the lethality of the lieutenant. Again, double BR on the lieutenant is pretty much a really good upgrade. I would always recommend it. Always works out for me when I'm playing as the Americans. Double lieutenant just greases most of the enemies. Now the M10 here. Austrian operating aggressively. Now got the Stooks ready nearby to support if need be. Putting him back in this case because, you know, I need to be able to react to whatever happens. 10 running in, MB42 spotting here. Vexing 3 by the way. Rather than getting blasted, but the Austrian particle is suppressed. There you go, M10 to attack from the other side. Stook shoots, misses. But second shot from the M10 there penetrates the front alarm with Stook and almost got a wipe there on the rifleman. There you go. Now the rifles got lost there for Findeed and the 2nd Infantry. Getting a bit bold there. There you go, M10 in a lot of trouble. Almost knocked out. Austrian supporting. And I was having a rather rough match for this fight. So I'm just going, he's playing terribly, doesn't exactly make me feel better about my own performance. Calling an artillery strike here against his 50 caliber there in the west. Lastly putting him at 4 uses of the doctrine ability there wise, whereas he's just pretty much unused to the M10s. Doesn't quite work on the 50 caliber, doesn't quite wipe it, but it was very close and East forces it away. They're defending the fuel point in the west. Stug almost knocked out, I need some repairs there. Panzer's almost wiped out as well. Mortar continues to just murder away, and there go, wipes the entire Panzer Grenadier squad. Got the M2 moving in here, hot on the heels, so no mistake there tactically. Austrian in trouble, Grenadiers in trouble, Stug's in trouble. Overall, potentially there for himself, so maybe you turn this around. But there you go, moving ahead there. Sadly, no munitions for target weak point there. All munitions going there on the artillery strike. But there you go, you can't knock it out there. Both Stug's pointing in the direction, Grenadiers moving in there. And MD42 there, Stokely defending behind whatever remains of the fences there. And there goes Stug abandoned. Stug abandoning behind only 1 Stug. 50 car moving up, they're going to trying to catch it. And there you go, tries to push it, but they takes it out. But there you go, 2nd M10 flanking in. And there you go, target weak point available, but can't use it due to the wreckage there from the smoke. Stug almost down, Austrian flying away there. Grenadiers moving in as well. In this case, the smoke from the Stug now ends up saying my Stug, he tries to attack ground, doesn't quite work out. And there you go, Flitz for the Panzerfaust, leaves it completely wrecked. And there you go, GG from Findeed. The 2nd Infantry Division has been defeated, a victory for the 17th SS. A brutal engagement here of wits and minds on Angerville. Certainly also, I think, highlighting some of the better ways to play it overall there. A lot of Panzer Grenadiers, Stugs, Austrians. But overall, just also rarely utilised doctrine, German infantry, officers, tactical movement, relief infantry, artillery strikes. Didn't have missions as to use fragmentation, bomber, not sure there's much room for using it. Compared to, again, Findeed's doctrinal choice was a lot more reactive and that's overall weaker because it never really fully integrated with the strategy, whereas again, mine was pretty much spot on right there. Again, it all meant, again, I was just much aware of the choices I had tactically in every engagement and couldn't sort of make more full use of it. Obviously, my officer usage was a bit weaker at times. I should have replaced them. That would probably give more room there as the game went on. But even then, if things, you know, in that sense, there's more to go for it. I mean, I did make some mistakes, which allowed Findeed to sort of push through, and he sort of took advantage of mistakes quite well, punishing me harshly and certainly putting me onto the defensive until, of course, he then made a mistake and then sort of just pushed back really aggressively. So that was certainly a lot of back and forth here on Angerville. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of the unapplied some feedback in the comment section. Of this ImperialDane, cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another Sunday episode. Bye.